Hi guys, welcome to Cityscope. Today we have an exclusive interview with a very special guest. He's been involved in over 10 movies and 30 shows, a very recognizable figure in Hong Kong. Of course, I'm talking about Mr. Mohinderpaul Singh Gill, better known to you as Q Bobo. Let's have a chat, shall we? Thank you very much for joining me, Mr. Q Bobo. I know it's a very busy day for you and you have a flight to take, so I'm glad that you could find the time to join us. So I just want to start, how are you doing? How's your family?
Yeah, they're doing good. They're now in Scotland.
Oh, they're in Scotland. Okay. So I just want to ask a little about your children and your childhood as well, and how different things are. So, when you were growing up, who were some of the role models that you were following?
My father.
Father. Okay.
Yeah.
What has he taught you that you would also like to pass on to your kids?
Do something good for the community, for our religion, and everything.
Okay. And did he set a good example for you to follow as a kid?
Oh yes, of course.
Why did you decide to say, okay, I've worked here for 16 years, now it's time to move on to another thing, How was that transition to acting?
Yeah, in 2005 there's a variety show called Minute to Fame. It's something like Sarigamapa
yes.
or American Got Talent,
Yes, sir.
British Got Talent. And you have to perform on stage. And who stayed longer, because they count the time, who stayed longer, and then when the judge ring the bell, then he or she will dismiss. And accidentally I've been the episode continuously 3 times.
Wow.
And I entered into the semi-final stage, I win again, and in the grand final, I'm the first runner-up.
Oh.
After that I got many chances in the advertisement, in movies, dramas, and all kind of Chinese movies, because they seldom use ethnic minority.
Yep.
Because you should know 98% of the population in Hong Kong are Chinese.
Yes, sir.
And before that, whatever role for the Indians or ethnic minority, they will just have a makeup, make it a dark color. But now, after me, they know that maybe some Indians or ethnic minority, they can speak a very good command of Cantonese, and they give me lots of chances. And my first movie is with Jackie Chan, Robin Hood, and I'm doing the loan shark role, and but it's funny, because in a Minute to Fame, I used to mix up Chinese and Punjabi dance, and the lyrics, everything, and they feel quite excited. And I never know that I will win. I just want to perform and show to my son that once upon a time I do perform in the TV.
I see. So I want to talk about your first ever movie, how that experience was like. What was the response you got when the movie was launched from your family and friends? How did they support you with that?
Yeah, they do support, and not because of that movie, but because an Indian guy, joined the mainstream TV station in Hong Kong, and I do lots of work there, and in a variety show called Welcome to the House, and they're still screening after 15 years. It's I think after 1 o'clock in the morning, every day from Monday to Friday.
And I want to ask something like, when you told your family that you were going to quit your job as a correctional services and move on, how was the response there?
They told me to think twice, because in discipline force you got a housing allowance, medical allowance, and overseas education allowance, everything. But for the movies, maybe only a few years, and you don't got too much opportunity after that. And there's no any ethnic minority or Indian actor in Hong Kong movie industry before, for the past 100 years, And So it's very hard to tell whether you can go more forward, or maybe the chance is only for that certain time. So I have to, I have to choose, and I want more opportunity to our community, ethnic minority. I quit the job because I know that if I try, there's many more will come afterward. But if I don't try, if I don't quit, then it's maybe quite hard for ethnic minority, or you can say Indian people go forward in the Chinese mainstream. So I think I have to try, and then I asked many of my friends, the Indian guys or Pakistani guys, whosoever, ask them, hey, let's join together, and they love it, and the audience love it. When the Chinese people saw, hey, an Indian guy, Pakistani guy, Nepali guy, they're speaking a very good command of Cantonese, they will think that it's like very united, and it's good. I think it's good for the community overall.
Do you think, ever since you got into the filming industry in Hong Kong, that there has been a change in how local Hong Kongers see Indian people or the South Asian community? Have you felt a change?
Yes, a big change, big change. And before, they don't know too much about our culture, but after that, and I show them, told them, and take them to the to the Hindu temple, Sikh temple, and they've been to the mosque, and they know our culture, our habit, what we do, everything.
So when was that moment where you realized, oh, maybe okay, I can do this. This is something I'm good at?
By the way, after work, we will go to karaoke and then sing. When you see a non-Chinese singing some Chinese song, it will look different, And when all the Chinese people see, oh, this guy can sing some Chinese or Cantonese song, why don't you try this program? This is all about singing and then performing. Then I tried.
Currently, you're officially considered to be retired from the acting business. Is there any chance that you would like to come back and resume your career?
I like to, but it's a long time. I separated with my family. In 2012, they migrated to Scotland, and almost 8 years. And I want to give more time to my family. But if there's a big role or a big chance, I'd love to come back.
So I can see that you would like to focus on other projects as well. So you've written a book.
Yes, made in Hong Kong.
Yeah, it was released in, I think, 2016. It was released. What was your inspiration behind the book, and can you tell us a little more, like what is it about?
No, it's all about the ethnic minority, how they survive, or how they do, or what make them, Hong Kong is their home. All of us are, Indian ethnic minority, and one is a Pakistani girl, and she studied a lot, and she's very good in a result, in academic result, but because of the identity, and she cannot go somewhere else to study, and she cannot get the SCR passport, something like that. And all five of us have different kind of story. And one is Mahbubani, the comedian guy, and he do lots of funny stuff in English, in Chinese, Cantonese, and another is a social worker, Andrew. Andrew do lots of community works for the refugees, for the ethnic minority, for the African peoples, for non-Chinese people, and he do lots of, and many people praise him. and another guy is Indian with the turban, Sikh, and he also can read and write Chinese and speak very good command of Chinese, and he's doing a part in View. Everybody have their own story, but I'm the main one, and after that, and people love the story of ethnic minority, how they do, and you can see many Nepalese, in the cleaning service in Hong Kong.
So in the 21st century, do you think we still have an important role to play in Hong Kong's development in the future?
You mean ethnic minority?
Ethnic minorities in
yeah,
Hong
of
Kong.
course. Every day have a chance. It's all about how the government or how the peoples, treat us. But you can see, for the 150 years in Hong Kong, and we ethnic minority do a very good job to build Hong Kong.
Currently there are many problems happening in the world and in Hong Kong, due to the virus outbreak. As the Indian ambassador, like a leader of the Indian community, what have you been doing to help do your role?
Yeah, I'm doing distributing the mask to the community, and there's a boss in Hong Kong called Butter. He do lots of charity work, and he called me, can we have some charity work, distribute the mask to the elderly people? And then I say, yes, yeah, very good idea. Then we go ahead. By the way, Sikh, they do lots of voluntary work, and the definition of Sikhism is we protect the weak and serve the poor. And when I'm young, I start to do lots of voluntary work through my dad. My dad told me we have to do something for the community, for our religion, everything. So I'm doing a voluntary work for more than 40 years, you can say that.
So I think that's a great note to leave it off. I know you have a very busy day ahead of you, so I won't take too much of your time. Is there anything else you would like to say to our viewers?
Yeah, in Hong Kong, you can say that nothing is impossible. What you can imagine can be achieved. It is just a matter of time and hard work. Thank you.
So that was it, guys. I hope you learned something new and enjoyed that. We'll be bringing more of these to you in the future. I hope you continue to support and share this as much as possible, and I'll see you next edition. Bye.